Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. So as you can see, I am doing a how to win with every legend on the new Fight or Fright event. A lot of people have been saying they're struggling to win as a legend, and yeah, I thought I'd do this little video. I do think those tables are turning now, as a lot of people are quitting out when they become a shadow. So try to stay in the match, it really helps with the servers. But other than that, we're going to get straight on for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, especially, you know the drill, and we'll get on with this. Now I'm going to do this in order of like the select loading screen order, which is starting off with Bloodhound, and we do have a few useless legends at first, and they're not completely useless, let's face it. Bloodhound's ultimate is really good for that movement speed, being able to see the enemies really clearly. When they have that shadow effect, it can be very difficult to see them in certain areas, but mainly it's just run into the ship as quick as possible. Now Gibraltar, again, not so great, but his ultimate is really good for covering the evac ship, like giving people clearance from the enemy so that they themselves can get in. Plus it's going to get you a few kills, which is pretty nice. But other than that, Gibraltar's not that great. His shield bubble can actually be a hindrance, because if you're trying to use it, it can allow the shadows to get in closer. Now Lifeline, again, kind of a useless character. They're probably the most useless in this entire event. Her healing drone does next to nothing because you're mainly using shields if you get hit once. And yeah, I'd say use her care package to maybe get a few crush kills. As you can see here, I managed to grab one. I was trying to see if you could get like a mass crush kill, like 10 kills at once. That would be amazing, but not successful so far. Now moving on to the unstoppable, overpowered tactics. As Pathfinder, create a ridiculously high ground zipline that is difficult to get to, and this is going to give you like an unstoppable advantage. If you do it correctly, you're literally going to be immortal. With the G7 Scout especially, and that 100% accuracy on zip lines, you can just pop people like crazy. If anyone gets on your zip line, you can pop them off. Now, another little tip, his grapple does allow you to get to these especially high ground locations, and you think they might be able to just climb up. Yeah, but if you're smart with your high ground like areas, some of them are hard to climb up, and some of them like you can be more like strategical with. Like right here, I'm on top of quite a short one, but it's right next to the ship and I can just jump straight in. Now onto Octane. His jump pad gives you the same high ground ability. Right here I'm demonstrating you can get on this really high pole, which like they find near on impossible to get up. But a really cool tactic is to throw it at your feet and just jump up and down on like either that high ground point, so if they do try and climb up, they can't punch you, they just get launched somewhere. Or like here, I'm in a Wattson circle, I'm directly where the evac ship's coming in, and I managed to hold off jumping up and down like this for ages. The only way they can get to me is if they stand by the jump pad and time the punch when I come down, but the hip fire with the Prowler's too strong for that. Like there, he tried to use the zip line, jump off and punch me, but again, the hip fire with the Prowler is actually like accurate enough to hold off these enemies for me a good minute or so until this evac, as you can see, is coming in now, and they keep trying, but unfortunately I managed to pull off a sick little play there. So yeah, jumping up and down on Octane's jump pad. Now Wraith, as you can see here, I had to add this little clip in because I made friends with a shadow. I actually made friends with a whole team of shadows later on in a different clip I'll put in a different video. But moving on, Wraith she's pretty good. She actually has an unstoppable move herself, which is ridiculously overpowered if you're a shadow. Like, you're scared of Wraiths getting to the ship because they are ridiculous. In the middle of the game, not so great. It's just purely depending on how well you can take down the enemies. Her phasing is useful, but at the same time they're just going to chase you down and punch you the moment you come out your phase. It can help for a brief second, but you got to have good reaction time. Now like here, you can see the unstoppable move. If you can get a portal into that like area where the evac ship is coming down, and then you just have to like stay in the defensive position near that portal ready for when it hits. You can also do it in reverse. You can portal towards the evac ship and then phase in that last moment, and all the enemies around the ship can't touch you. It's almost unstoppable if they have a bit of luck on their side. Moving on, we have Bangalore. Bangalore's actually really good. I underestimated her. Her damage with the smokes actually comes in real useful for those like little ones that are trying to hide. This was a shot donk on the head with the grenade there. I love that clip. But her fast movement when getting shot at is also good in this game mode when you're having to fight enemies and shadows in those early stages. Right here I'm getting shot at while having to fight all these shadows, but her movement speed, because I'm getting shot at, allows me to like counteracts the fighting against the shadows. So it's a kind of a bit of balance with her movement speed there. Now her ultimate, this is actually really useful for the evac ship area. Like here I've gotten to another one of those little high ground areas, and luckily enough a Pathfinder's put a zipline down for me. But what I'm doing is I'm basically clearing the route to the evac ship. Just as it's come in, I throw the ultimate down, and what you want to do is follow the explosions in. This is going to clear a path all the way across those explosions. You just got to watch out behind you, make sure no one flies down on top of you, but other than that it's going to clear the entire area for you and your entire team. Now Caustic is again a very good defensive character. As you can see here, I had 1 kill before I got in the evac ship. I put down 1 gas canister and I ended up coming out with 8 kills. 1 gas canister. So yes, these are very effective. In terms of mid-game defensiveness, you don't want to hoard them too close to like the door area. You want to do it in like a line so that the gas canisters act as like speed bumps for the enemy, for the shadows trying to push into you. And then again here, don't rush out too quick. The shadows are going to be around the ship, so kill a bunch of them with your gas if you can. This is going to force them to respawn in right at the top of the map. And killing about 6 shadows here is going to give me so much space to actually just run in, clear of pretty much all. Like I only saw 2 shadows on the way in because we had time to kill them and they took too long to respawn and come down in. Now Mirage is kind of useless. They can see a lot of his decoys and that. They can tell, and you can use his ultimate to go invisible and run to the supply ship like so. But I am curious if they can see him in his ultimate mode, because they have infrared. So that should pick up even when he's invisible. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if you know. Now, Wattson, I did a video on this yesterday. If you saw it, you kind of know the gist, but I wanted to go in a little extra detail on fence placement. Like right here, I'm doing a figure of 8 formation. This is the strongest formation that I use at all major doorways, because it only takes up 4 fences, but you get all these cross-creasing lines. The one thing you do need to note is that when the fences are really close together, sometimes the damage won't fully stack and they can get through quickly. So make sure you're putting a bit of distance in between each layer of fence. The next one is like a max spiderweb system. Now this is a square figure of 8 system done 3 times inside each other, which ends up with this amazing spiderweb system. And as you saw in the gameplay yesterday, I was getting 20 kill bombs with this. Now, Crypto. People think Crypto is going to be useless. Like 100%, I thought his tactical was going to be like kind of like this, but not as good. And it is actually really helpful. As I said earlier, shadows are really difficult to see in dark locations, and Crypto's like permanent bloodhound UAV effect, as you can see, is just really useful to see clear as day. Right here you're about to see a clip where I take out 3 of them at once, and if I was any other legend right here, I thought I would have died, because I wouldn't have been able to tell that there were 3 there. I probably would have thought there was only 2 and gone to reload after the second and got punched. But because of that UAV effect, I can see it clearly. Here I'm using it as a security camera outside the building. it picks them up as they come in. In this location, I use it as a security camera inside the building because I want to be able to tell when they're coming around that corner. Right here, I can see when they're coming around the corner. It's really useful. And then with the evac ship, you can also use it to spot where all the enemies are when you need to make that run out. You can like use the UAV to be like, okay, I can't go left, I can't go right, let's just go straight through the middle. If you see they're all in the middle, you might have to curve round, or you'll be able to see where they are to quickly go out and shoot them all and get rid of them that way. But the UAV effect is insanely useful. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace. No, don't. No, the Pathfinders are trying to get up to me. I am the king of hiding spots. Do not underestimate the King Pathfinder.